Hello everyone, this is Running on Empty Food Review. Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and everyone watching. This is Running on Empty Food Review. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Boy, we're wheeling and dealing with another food review, because you can't live without those food reviews, and we're back at it again with another one. This one is for probably the most, I would say, most original and unique release I've seen of the year thus far. KFC is releasing this new thing that I've never heard of it and I've never reviewed it before, called chicken tenders, believe it or not. And it's some pretty crazy stuff. And apparently, not only do they have these alleged chicken tenders, but they're also coming out in a flavor that they describe as hot honey. Actually, they just call it their hot honey chicken. It's marketed, well, just as that. They're not trying to play games with you. They're not trying to make the name sound like it's some innuendous remark or anything close to that. It's literally just supposed to have, as described verbatim, quote, sweet heat, unquote. So it's supposed to be just, honey-esque. That very sharp sweetness, I'd suppose, and then with a little bit of spiciness added to that as well. And they come in three forms. Now, yes, two of those are sandwiches, but the one that they're mainly focusing their advertising and marketing on is chicken tenders. It comes in the crispy kernel sandwich. We've already reviewed one of those in the past. The chicken littles, I know I've reviewed those, but it also comes with the extra crispy chicken tenders. That's what we have before us, hopefully. That's what I'm reviewing. We got a 3-piece of them. The price for that, $5.49. So, we got them right here. First and foremost, before I begin anything else, it's my show. I'm going to do it. Today's a Thursday. Make sure you check out the newest VORW radio show. Listen in on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/VORW_radio_INT. You got a shortwave radio. Listen at 8 p.m. tonight, 9395 kilohertz, 9 p.m. Eastern, 5850 kilohertz are the frequencies there. Really hope you could give it a listen, though. Check more info about the schedules in the description, pinned comments, also in the cards. And, again, it's a show with some good talk, some music, and cover a couple topics in this one that I think we'll all find at least somewhat interesting. So chicken tenders are what these are. And, these last few, I'll admit, I was being semi-sarcastic at the beginning of this one. But this has convinced me. The first time when I reviewed the chicken tenders from, Burger King, right? Burger King had the chicken tenders that were out. And McDonald's had the chicken tenders that were out. Those two were making me question things a little. Starting to scratch my head. Starting to look around a little more. Pay attention to certain things. But this is the one that did it. This is the one that convinced me of what the trend of 2018 officially is. Because I was fully convinced before then that 2018 was the year of the Slinky. But I was dead wrong. It's the year of the chicken tenders, apparently. Because everyone has it. Everyone's reinventing them or, doing their own thing. And, now, of course, KFC would have done this many times before, but they're trying to do it again. Alright, here's an up-close and personal view. If it's too personal for you, so be it. That's just what KFC wants. This is the life that they live. This is a 3-piece of the chicken tenders there. I'm hiding behind it so it focuses in good. You can see it comes with pickles as well. And you can see that they are covered in the sauce. I should add, it's an oil-based sauce. I don't know if you could really see. I really don't want to spill this. But what's right in there, is this reservoir. It's kind of hidden by the lip of this container. But this reservoir of oil that I guarantee you, if I spilled that on my suit, this would be ruined completely. There's no way that's coming out of any clothing. So I'm actually going to make sure I have a better grip on this, because I really don't want to foreshadow that. Anyway, with all that out of the way, this is what it looks like more closely. You can see, actually, interestingly enough, You know, there it is with the breading. Though this side really doesn't have as much breading as you would expect. But either way, you can't judge a book by its cover. We're just going to try it out. I'll let you know what it tastes like, and we'll go from there. It's the hot honey chicken tenders from KFC. They're going in. Nah, it's too small. I'm just doing that because I think it looks cool. Now we're living. Look at that, I submerged it in the oil reservoir, and now we're really gonna be trying this out full blown. Okay. So, three basic criteria, I think, just need to be met with this one. You know, this isn't one of those items where it's just a combination of 25 flavors or anything. It's very basic, right? And here are the three criteria that I'm just going to judge it on. Number one is common sense. Is the chicken edible or not, right? Because the seasoning and the sauce and everything on it can be great. But if the chicken is terrible, there's no point. So number one, is the chicken edible? Number two, is there that spiciness? And number three, is there that sweetness? Criteria number one, is the chicken edible? It actually is, believe it or not. I know I've given KFC quite the hounding in days of old. I even had an interesting little nickname for them. Those are some good days right there. You can go back, check my catalog for that. But they don't deserve this harsh rebuke this time around, because believe it or not, the tenders were actually all right. Yeah, I haven't any complaints. The chicken was juicy. You can see it was kind of just falling apart there, which is good. It's not like this, tough piece of jerky or anything, right? It's actually edible. It was good. I can't complain about the actual flavor of the chicken. So criteria number one is met. It's edible. Tastes good. No problem there. Criteria two is it's spicy. It sure is. And this is where I'm just going to kind of blend them together, because it's really supposed to be, they just called it a hot honey chicken. Well, the first thing that really hit me was this spiciness, and it's lingering on. It's a peppery spiciness. Now, I'm no pepper connoisseur, so I can't go ahead and tell you which one it is, nor did KFC actually specify it, but it definitely is a pepper-esque spiciness there that hits you immediately, and it lingers on as a spicy aftertaste as well. So as you are eating these, you're going to have this spiciness that's going to be lingering through the entire duration of your tender consumption experience. The one thing, however, right, we know that the spiciness is there. It's not overwhelming. I'd recommend you have a drink. You saw me sipping at the water, though I'm not doing so profusely, but it could definitely build up, I imagine, if you're really just, downing these things, if you're just gulping them down in some way. I could see how you'd get a little overwhelming, so perhaps get it with a drink. The spice is there. Here's the one thing, though. It has that little bit of sweetness to it. You know, it has that little bit of sweetness that kind of, it's secondary. And that's the one thing that was a little disappointing. Because you look at the advertising campaign where they have the kernel creature, because it's not even, it's a living, it's supposed to be an inanimate object, but they have the kernel that's in the shape of like the you know, the little bear that's supposed to represent honey. You can see where they're putting the focus on it, except it's only a mild sweetness that's put really second behind the spiciness. So because of that, with their advertising, they're making it seem like this thing, and you know that honey is a very, very potent, extremely sweet substance. You would think that it's just something that would really just be there, but instead it's not. You know, you bite in, the tenders taste pretty good, you have that spiciness that's definitely there, and then there's a little mild sweetness. But that sweetness is by no means anything that's the primary focus. So with that, keep that in mind. If you're looking for something that's like really sweet, like a real honey barbecue, this isn't going to be it. It's definitely got that spiciness, it's alright, but they could definitely make these a bit sweeter, considering their line of marketing and advertising and simply the name. Keep that in mind, but in the end, these were certainly edible, and they had a nice spiciness to them. I just wish they could be a bit sweeter. For the price, again, this is around $5, and, you know, it'll vary region to region, but I would estimate it around $5, 30-40 cents. With that, the rating for these is going to be a 7.0 out of 10 flat. Again, they just need to improve on that sweetness, and then it's good to go after that. That's all that I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Report of the Week. Today's review was for the Hot Honey Chicken Tenders from KFC. Again, tune into the radio show if you're interested. Help keep it on the air. Help keep it going. Support this at patreon.com/the Report of the Week, or donate via PayPal to VORWINFO@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll catch you again in a couple days with another video. That's all, and have a pleasant Thursday.